Hey, Louie, guess what today is? 70 years ago today, I started my trip to America. 70 years ago, I was a POW. Look at me in that picture. I'm just a 16-year-old kid, right? And the Americans are gonna invade. So I get scooped up by the crowds. And they put me in this crappy uniform, and they give me a rifle. And they toss me out on the beach at Salerno. So, picture this. I got the Yanks shooting like mad, flooding up the beach. I got the crowds dug in bunkers, shooting from behind me. And there I am in the middle. So what do you think I do? What do you think? No, after pissing myself. I throw down my rifle, I put my hands in the air, and I say the only words I know in English. I surrender. Man, I took a real beating for that one. No. Not from the Yanks. From the crowds on the boat on the way over to POW camp. So, I'm just this farm kid, right, from San Pietro? So where do you think they take me? Wisconsin. My first time, more than 50 miles away from the farm, they got me picking cherries up in Door County. Man, you know, though, I did go back. I did go back after the war, but it was pretty bad over there. I mean, I'd gotten some letters from the Red Cross. They delivered things for my family, but then they stopped. And they told me that the town had been kind of damaged during the war. And seems that Hitler, that Piezo de Merde, he decides that our valley is where he wants to set up his stand to defend Rome. It got really bad. And I went back, and there's our place, and there's some distant uncle of mine, and he's working our fields, but it wasn't right. I mean, the fig trees over there was nothing left but stumps. And our farmhouse, it was just a burned out foundation. And even the fields just looked dry and weak. So I talked to some of the neighbors, and I found out that after I got captured, things got really bad. The crowds came in and rounded everyone up. They had them digging holes and building walls and all kinds of stuff. They worked them to death. And my family, my brothers, my parents, they eventually escaped, and they went up the hill to the Abbey at Monte Cassino, and we're hiding out up there. They all died when the Americans bombed the place into rubble. The Leary Valley used to be such a beautiful place. It was gorgeous. It was like paradise on earth. And now, after all this, do you know what they call it? Valle della Morte. That's Death Valley. They never even rebuilt the town. They left the ruins there and they moved and started over about a mile west. After that, I never went back. But you know what? It was all good. It was all good. I mean, I worked here in America. I had a job on a farm, raising cows. Not much different than raising goats, except, they kick a hell of a lot harder. I can still feel some of those mornings. And so I saved up my money. I met my Maria. I ended up with my own place that my grandson now, he's taking care of. So it was a damn good life. It was a good life. Let me have the farm report section there. Let me know when the girl brings the coffee around, okay?
Oh, wow.
Really nice job. Isn't that just amazing when you think about that all, just the imagination and totally creating that from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Question.
Jimmy?
Did you hang out with Snooki a lot? It kind of sounds
No, I didn't watch
about.
any Jersey Shore for this at all.
Talking about.
One of the
Sounds
things-
exactly like
One of the things that we worked on with this character, we actually had him sit opposite what was the character's name? They tried Sammy?
Louis.
Louis. We actually had Louis sitting opposite him, and he was talking to someone for real. So another actor filled in and tried to answer the questions and react, so he could try to recreate that. So as he was doing the monologue, you could actually see him hearing and seeing the reaction of Louis, you know? The other thing I wanted you to comment on as you created this piece, originally we had the whole thing where you were just sitting talking to Louis, right? And then we started putting some movement into it. Can you talk about how that kind of changed things for you? And what you thought about that?
There was, we started with me just sitting down across from him, and one of the first things we added in was the picture. The picture he carries in, because why is he talking about this? Why has he remembered this? And I come in with the picture and I slap it down. And this, and I'm showing him this is what's motivating my whole story. And then instead of sitting, I stay standing, and I came back over here. And over here, I'm still talking to him, but I'm kind of just looking out there and picturing, what I'm remembering from when I went back. And then finally, I get to sit down at the end because I had to sit down. I'm 86 years old.
And physically, the change is obviously the right arm injured. And the funny thing, I was trying to get him. There were times when, like, he's in this moment, recalling some of this stuff and actually seeing it. It was just so powerful. And I kept saying, Chris, can you just try to keep your other arm still just for a moment? And he kept challenging me. He's like, no, Italians wouldn't keep their arms still.
Italian.
I'm like, okay, that's a trick.
I've got one arm that can barely move. That's a speech impediment.
That's right.
So this arm is constantly going, and this one from the cows. So.
Yeah.
And I love how it came back full circle then. It came back full circle, grabbed the picture, put it in, sat back down, and came back to the humor, the humor side of him as well. So nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job.